Welcome back to Royalty Soaps. Today is a really special day because I get to announce the third surprise. The first one was that we bought a house and now have a 550 square foot soap studio that we're redoing. The second one is my merch, which you can purchase from links and little icons down below. And the third one is... I've hired my first employee. This is my brother Kenny. He is 21 and he is the oldest of my brothers. I am the first oldest child and he's the one right in line behind me.
Second prize.
Yes. Kenny, would you like to tell them a couple things about yourself?
Lots of computers, lots of routers, lots of software, lots of all that sort of business. So
oh yes.
Installations and all that sort of thing.
You've been doing that a really long time.
Years and years and years.
And also, I will note that Kenny and I actually started doing videos together when we were really little. And by really little, I mean 8 and 11. Kids. We were already doing stop motion animation and really basic regular animation. It's very cringy. We try not to remember that. You like anime?
Love anime. Love Japanese culture, Japanese language. And if I had to say favorite, it's hard not to say Ghibli movies.
Oh.
All of them are so beautiful, but
they are.
As far as normal anime, it'd be Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Adventure, that sort of thing, but...
I don't know what Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood sounds like. Okay, that sounds like the movie... Oh, okay, that sounds like the movie to me where he's sprays his teeth and he's Chrome!
Oh, no.
Ride or die!
No, that's Mad Max.
Yeah, what does he say when he sprays his... Witness me!
Witness me! Witness me! Witness me! Not
Brotherhood.
quite. No, he's got a metal arm, not a metal mouth.
Now, I had lots of reasons for needing to hire Kenny. As you guys know, Royalty Soaps has been growing and growing and growing, and my main focus, I want to be on you guys. Making videos, making content, coming up with new, creative things to put on film. And that being said, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, like prepping batches and washing dishes and shipping and keeping raw material inventory, and I can't do it all. So that's where Kenny is coming in. He's gonna help do all the stuff behind the scenes. That way I can be in front of the camera more, creating content. Now today's soap, we are making a white mystery soap inspired by white mystery Airheads, which were my favorite growing up. So let's get started. Now, since this soap is going to be completely white, I'm going to be mixing my titanium dioxide straight into the lye water instead of mixing it in a separate container on the side. So let's put in our stick blender and blend that up. I'm gonna pour the lye water solution straight into the oils, and you can see it's nice and white. And now let's blend on low until everything is incorporated and we are at emulsification. Was that not one of the best blending segments we've ever done? I love doing a full white base. Now we're gonna be adding in our mystery fragrance. And just so y'all know, different bars will smell like different things. We're not just picking one fragrance. This one smells amazing, so let's blend this in on low. Wonderful, everything has been incorporated, so I'm gonna set my stick blender off to the side. Actually, I'm gonna wipe it down first. Now I'm gonna set it off to the side. Also, as you can probably tell, we want the soap to remain white. That's what this soap is. It's the white mystery soap. So none of the fragrances contain any sort of vanilla or cinnamon. Time to pour into our 17 bar brambleberry molds. Now, as you can probably see, my silicone liners are very strange. These are brand new liners. I got them off of eBay. I had a lot of people email me about different distributors for these thin silicone liners because Brambleberry only sells the thicker ones now. So I'll leave you guys a link down below to the thinner liners in case you have been looking for more of those. The soap is really, really runny, so I'm having to be really careful when I'm pouring it. and I'm hoping that it's heavy enough, yes it is, to kind of fix the mold by itself. I might still have to tape a few things down though. Okay, let's pour into this one now, all the way down. There we go. I like it when it doesn't stick to the side and make a big fat mess. So there it is, pushing the mold out to the edge. Well, mostly. Come on, soap. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go back and tape some of these sides here. So breaking in silicone liners only has to be done a few times until they seem to get the hang of their job. If I was lining my soap molds with freezer paper, I of course wouldn't have that problem, but I also wouldn't have the luxury of just popping in the silicone liner and making soap. It takes a lot longer to line it with freezer paper. I have scrapey'd out my big container here. So now it's time to mix up the, of course, white piping to put on top. Because this soap is a simple one, I decided to use a rather fancy tip that creates a lot of ridges and dimension. I'm just gonna start by putting one little dollop right here on the side. One of my molds is marked and one of them is not, so I'm gonna use this first one to help me map out the second one. So recently I have been spending a lot of my time getting the new soap studio ready. So it's about 550 square feet on my property. I live on about 2 acres, so it's to the side of my house, and it was just, oh, it was so dirty and had a lot of junk in it. But my dad is a really handy guy. If you guys have been here a really long time, whenever I was in Butterfly Cottage, which is the 2-story cottage on my parents' house, he built that from the ground up. Like, he did all the electricity, all the plumbing, all the framing, everything, and he had never built like a house before. Point being, he can basically do anything. So he is working on that right now with my 12-year-old brother, Elisha, who is having the time of his life. This is right up his alley. He loves building things, and yeah, they're pretty much a dynamic duo. So they're working on my new studio right now. And originally, my plan had been to make a very aesthetically pleasing studio. I wanted really big windows, which I'm still getting, but I wanted really big windows. I wanted sort of a Scandinavian feel on the inside, very clean, some unfinished wood, lots of white, apothecary jars to put my stuff in, on shelves, everything hidden. Like, my whole kind of design idea was just to make the whole thing extremely aesthetic. So when you walk in, it's like just this gorgeous workspace. But as we started mapping things out and looking at how much square footage we were working with and all of the pieces of equipment that needed to be incorporated, because I'm buying some scaling equipment, it began to sort of fade into the background. My little hope and dream of having a super aesthetically pleasing workshop turned into a very efficient, like far more productive layout. And I had a lot of dead space in my original design because I was hoping to keep it very open, but for storage solutions and, you know, soap storing and stuff, we needed to end up using all that space. So now it's become way more efficient, far more industrial, and I'm honestly really grateful because I don't have a lot of experience in efficiency. These are handcrafted products that I've been making by myself a really long time. Now that's not to say that I won't still get some pretty things in there and some of the original elements that I had designed won't be incorporated, because they will. But it does look drastically different from what I originally planned, and we are documenting the whole journey on film, and we will have a soap studio like renovation video that I'm going to put together so that you guys can see what it looked like before and what it looks like after. I hope to make the video in sort of like a home makeover slash house flipper type style. Lots of panning and zooming and talking, and it will be a fun project for me. I don't have a lot of experience doing that type of filming either. All of the piping is complete, so now it's time to put the embeds on top. I have white soap gumballs. I'm gonna line it up first on this soap over here. That way I don't get it wrong on the other one. But yeah, I really can't wait to share with you guys the new studio. And I just wanna say a huge thank you to Joanna Couch from the Soap Gal. I will leave her YouTube channel down below in the description box and also in the sidebar. You can click the I right now to go see her. It's a brand new soap channel. She's been making soap for years, and her whole channel specializes in scaling up and efficiency when you're doing larger production soap making, and there's basically nothing on the internet like her videos. When I was doing all my research about which melters to get and, you know, how to pour larger batches and what sort of lye tanks, you know, I could put my stuff in, there was some guides. I bought one from Modern Soap Making. I'll leave you guys a link to that down below too, and that was really helpful, but there is nothing that compares to seeing it in action, seeing someone's real studio and the actual items that they use. That's just, it's invaluable because it feels like you're right there with them in the studio, and she just walks you through everything. It's so helpful. So if there are any soap makers out there ready to take it to the next level, I absolutely recommend Joanna. She's so sweet. Her videos, again, so informative, so helpful. The soap community really needed her. She filled a void that we had in the soap community for sure, as far as education goes. And she's very generous with sharing exactly what she does. Like, I can't thank her enough for everything that she has done for me and for soap makers at large. Now that all my embeds are in, it's time to add the glitter. So I have some silver bio glitter, some large hollow bio glitter, and some white bio glitter. We're gonna put all of these on. By the way, my little glitter shakers are just salt shakers I got on Amazon, and then I stuck a label on them. I really like the way they look because I can see all the glitter inside. It comes out super easy, but they all look uniform. I'm gonna start with the silver. It's kind of the largest of the glitter, so I like putting it on the bottom. Come over here on the side. Yes. Now we're gonna do the white bio glitter. Put a nice sprinkling of that on top and on this side as well. And then the hollow. This hollow is from Brambleberry. They have two different sizes. They have large hollow and they have the small hollow. I prefer the large because I feel like you can see the little rainbows better. We're gonna do a quick spritz with rubbing alcohol, and then, my friends, our white mystery artisan soap is complete. Here's a little close-up of the bars. Man, the glitter though. The glitter! It's so stinking pretty. And of course, it's even prettier in person. And the particular scent in this batch is so great. It's smelling all the way through the top. Oh, I just love it. So we will be back in 18 to 24 hours to cut up these bars and take a look at the inside that we already know what it looks like. We are back the next day to cut the white mystery soap. So I'm using my cutter from Bud's Wood Shop. Move this to the side, and ta-da! It's all white and creamy. Now every single batch of this soap is gonna be a little bit different because they are utilizing different fragrance oils. So some of them may be a little more creamy on the inside, and some of them may be a little bit more white. But I can't tell you just how great this one is, and the glitter on top is so nice. And I feel like while this soap tends to be a little more plain, at least for my soaps, it would match a lot of people's bathrooms a lot better. I'm just saying there may not be a lot of people with purple and hot pink bathrooms. Gonna cut a few like this so you can see the glittery top of the soap really well the next day. Look how creamy and smooth that is on the inside. Oh, it's so beautiful. And of course the sparkles on the top. The question of the day today is very specific. So every time I ate one of the white mystery Airheads when I was a kid, I was convinced the flavor was cherry, and that's all I got. I never got one that didn't taste like cherry, and I had a lot of friends that said the same thing. So the question is, when you tried the white mystery, did it taste like cherry to you? Were they just pulling the wool over our eyes? Was it really just cherry? To vote on the question of the day, you can click the I in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Thanks you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment for Kenny down below. He was a little nervous about getting in front of the camera today, so tell him just how awesome he is. I will be sure to tell you guys a bunch of Kenny stories because he and I were really super close growing up. Like I said before, we're the closest one in age, and he's like really a comedian. Pulled a lot of pranks on me. There's a lot of stories to tell. This month of soap making is gonna be an awesome one, and I just wanted to let you know that on the Royalty Soaps Instagram, I'm gonna be doing a full set of soap giveaway because we hit 50,000 followers over there, which just blows my mind. I haven't announced all the details and I haven't started the giveaway yet. I just wanted to let y'all know it is going to be exclusively for followers on Instagram. So if you want to be a part of it, go follow me over there. And until Saturday, have an absolutely marvelous day. Do something for yourself today, like chomping on an Airhead or maybe just eating some Twizzlers. Either way, do something that makes you happy, and I'll see you Saturday. Bye for now. Why do I forget the